my mother would look at me and she'd say, "Kamla, you may be the first to do many things, but make sure you are not the last." That's why breaking those barriers is worth it. As much as anything else, it is also to create that path for those who will come after us. When my mother came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment. But she believed so deeply, and in America, where a moment like this is possible. And so I'm thinking about her, and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women who throughout our nation's history have paved the way for this moment tonight.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you have a clear message: dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy. Part of what makes us great are our democratic institutions that protect our fundamental ideals: freedom of religion and the rule of law, protection from discrimination based on national origin, freedom of the press, and a 200-year history as a nation built by immigrants. I've had a lot of titles over my career, and certainly vice president will be great. But Mamila will always be the one that means the most. America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it, to guard it, and never take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle. It takes sacrifice. But there is joy in it. And there is progress. Because we the people have the power to build a better future. Everyone keeping up the fight, you are doing something. You are the reason I know we are going to bring our country closer to realizing its great promise. Imperfect though we may be, I believe we are a great country. You marched and organized for equality and justice. For our lives, and for our planet. And then you voted. You delivered a clear message. You chose hope, unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. At every step of the way, I've been guided by the words I spoke from the first time I stood in a courtroom: Kamala Harris, for the people. I've fought for children and survivors of sexual assault. I've fought against transnational gangs. I took on the biggest banks and helped take down one of the biggest for-profit colleges. I know a predator when I see one. Throughout all of the recent events and the emotional roller coaster our country has been on, we cannot lose hope. And in order to have hope, one must first speak truth. No longer can some wait on the sidelines, hoping for incremental change. In times like this, silence is complicit. My parents would bring me to protests strapped tightly in my stroller, and my mother, Shyamila, raised my sister, Maya, and me to believe that it was up to us and every generation of Americans to keep on marching. My mother would tell us, don't sit around and complain about things, do something. So I did something. I devoted my life to making real the words carved in the United States Supreme Court: equal justice under law. Because now is when the real work begins, the hard work, the necessary work, the good work, the essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic. To rebuild our economy, so it works for working people. To root out systemic racism in our justice system and society. To combat the climate crisis. To unite our country and heal the soul of our nation. There will be people who say to you, you are out of your lane. They are burdened by only having the capacity to see what has always been instead of what can be. But don't you let that burden you. When you're at an HBCU, and especially one with the size and with the history of Howard University, and also in the context of also being in D.C., which was known forever as being Chocolate City, it just becomes about you understanding that there is a whole world of people who are like you. It's not just about there are a few of us who may find each other. The American dream belongs to all of us.